All right, YouTube. So James Gunn and the whole cast of the Guardians of the Galaxy are they're a really tight knit group. So they've basically come out and they say, yeah, you know what, we completely support James. It was all in the name of comedy, and then Leslie Jones is on The View the other day. She's asked about it from Joy Behar, and she's like, oh, you know what, we're court jesters. We shouldn't be taken seriously. Well, by that logic, I shouldn't take you seriously when you say that those were just jokes. And another thing, too, is like, okay, when you start to talk about politics, like Amy Schumer and Seth Rogen did about the Bud Light commercial, where they're talking about that, basically the bullshit myth of the gender wage gap, or the salary gap, or whatever. They're comedians, and they're coming out and they're basically spouting a whole bunch of lies about a subject that they're not experts in by any means. And we're supposed to take them seriously. And a lot of people do. Trust me. A lot of people here in Santa Cruz are dumb enough to believe that bullshit, honestly. I'm not saying all the Santa Cruzians are dumb, but they tend to, listen to, like Colbert for political guidance. It's bullshit. But, the thing that's even more bullshit is, I'll tell you what. These folks in Hollywood, James Gunn, Dan Harmon, Justin Roiland, all three guys I've talked about, they're pretty run-of-the-mill. Kevin Spacey. They are very common in Hollywood. Corey Haim is not lying when he says, yeah, the biggest problem in Hollywood is pedophilia. Obviously, you could just see it with the culture there. They celebrate guys like James Gunn. They celebrate guys like Roman Polanski. They gave him a fucking standing ovation at the Oscar Awards. Look, they gave him, first of all, they gave him a standing ovation at the Oscar Awards where he won an award for the movie The Pianist. And he wasn't able to attend because he fled the country because he was, I think he skipped bail actually, after the trial of his, basically he raped a 12-year-old girl. He gave her Quaaludes at Jack Nicholson's house in his hot tub. And, and basically Meryl Streep was asked about it and she was like, oh, I'm really sorry that he's in jail. What the fuck kind of answer is that? You're basically saying oh yeah, I don't agree with it at all. He should be out. And that's kind of what these people think, that's like Hollywood culture for you. And it's not just, and Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, they nailed it. They completely exposed it. And there's more people that are going to be coming out. And the thing about it is, too, it's this isn't the case of just a couple bad apples, a couple pedophiles coming into Hollywood and, tainting the water there. Excuse me. It's basically just the culture that's been set up there. It's been there for years. And, I can't even pinpoint how far it goes back because there's just a lot of weird shit that goes on in Hollywood and shit. And some of the things that you see in movies too are highly suggestive, and you just think think about the kid's actor or the kid actor's parents. What the fuck? Are they okay with this? There's just shows and shit like Curb Your Enthusiasm. They do a lot of weird shit with kids in that show. It's fucking weird. Larry David is also really good friends with Woody Allen. Look, I'm a big Curb Your Enthusiasm fan, but then I started to think, Larry David and Woody Allen, they seem to be very simpatico. They like to kind of mimic each other's style, I guess. And, yeah. No, just check it out. Just check out Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's, a lot of weird shit that goes on in that show. And, yeah, Larry David, he's probably one of the Hollywood swamp monsters, honestly. And, look, just a little disclaimer, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying this is my speculation. I feel like I have to give this little asterisk in all my videos because it's basically, I don't want to, accuse anybody. I don't want to commit libel, essentially. I just want to give my take about it, so I hope I'm very clear about that. And I'll just go ahead and say that it's kind of the bottom line for all of my videos, so if you guys think that I'm trying to basically accuse someone without evidence, that's not the case. I'm just saying, when I speak, and I might speak in those terms, but I'm trying to just basically share my opinion about it. Look, that was a pretty good take. I'm going to end on that. I don't like talking about this subject at all. I really don't. And if we just continue to basically boycott Hollywood, they're going to wake up and they're going to realize, well, fuck, we're pretty much out of style. You guys have been out of style for a very long time, honestly. And with all the, all the testimony coming from Elijah Wood, the Coreys, the two Coreys, they're basically saying, and folks that were associated with Bill Cosby, Stephen Collins, people that were associated, the Seventh Heaven cast, a lot of weird shit, And honestly, I would keep my eye on Larry David, too. He's got a weird thing with Woody Allen, and he does weird shit in his show. So that's just my take, honestly. All right, guys, more news to come. very not. I'm not surprised that James Gunn is, they're a tight knit group. So what do you expect?